Oh yeah. So this the second session and also the last session. This will not last that very long. Two things that I'm going to do. The first is I'm going to briefly I'll read the Tsongkhapa's praise in the Buddha, or praise to Buddha, by teaching the dependent origination. And this text is also called, as I briefly mentioned yesterday afternoon, this text is also called the shorter version of Essence of True Eloquence, because it deals with the same topics on emptiness. And the text itself, I'm sure many of you have received teachings from many great teachers. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to give any commentaries or anything like that. But I'm going to read in Tibetan in a form of oral transmission. Mainly that's what I'm going to do. But before I do that, I would like to read one or two or the few verses from English version of this text. There are several different translations. This text. There are several different translations, and this one is quite old translation. It is published in Tibetan, the work of library work and archive, quite early time, translated by a group of translator. So I'm going to read just few verses to give just brief flavor of the oral transmission that I'm going to read in Tibetan, and then after this few reading in a few verses reading in English, then I will start to read the oral transmission. So the first verse from this, the praise of Buddha Shakyamuni for his teaching of dependent origination, here translated relativity. It goes like this: homage to that perfect Buddha, the supreme philosopher, who taught us relativity or dependent origination, free of destruction and creation. This is a little bit, the philosophical, and without annihilation and permanence. So in other words, free from the two extremes. The Buddha's view of reality, view of the things and events, is free from two extremes: extreme of nihilism and extreme of eternalism. And my main point I'm reading is the second verse, and that is what the purpose of writing the text and the purpose of the teaching. That is what here it says. With no coming and no going, neither unity nor plurality, the equating of quieting of fabrication, the ultimate, the ultimate beauty. I don't know exactly what that means. So that is the praise, the first praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. So the point here is really talking about the purpose of having, the teaching on this relativity or dependent origination is really free from those extreme views, And this word coming and going, without coming, without going, these are really very much related to, of course there are, things are coming, things are going, but there are no ultimate intrinsic coming and going. That's what really very much, and actually I read a little bit, this is not actually the Tsongkhapa's essence of the dependent origination text. This is coming from Nagarjuna's, the fundamental wisdom. So they put it this at the beginning of the text. So the Tsongkhapa's text itself goes like this: misknowledge is the root of all the troubles in the world. Who sows that and got rid of it, proclaimed universal, the relativities. So the teachings of the dependent origination, or here the term is used, universal relativity. Teachings of the dependent origination is to get rid of the root of the troubles, root of the difficulties. In Tibetan, Jigden Kuba. Jigden, we can say, we can translate as a unenlightened state, the unenlightened realm, Jigden Kuba. And here the translated troubles. Kuba has a deeper meaning than what we in English. I'm not sure the connotation of the trouble. Kuba has in Tibetan it has many different meanings. One of the main commonly used this term in Tibetan, Kuba. For example, when you reach age 70, 80, then the deterioration of our health, deterioration of our not just physical health, also the mental health. That kind of deterioration is also called Kuba. So all the samsaric things, all these unenlightened things, no matter how colorful, no matter how meaningful, no matter how valuable, they all have, this kind of time to deteriorate, time to disappear. And that is the meaning of this trouble, the Jigden Kuba, Chiniba. So all these, the dissatisfactions, the unhappiness, the shortcomings, the challenges that we have, they all comes from this grasping. So to uproot that root of all these troubles, then here it says, Buddha, you taught the teachings on dependent origination. So that is really something very nice to relate the purpose of the teachings of the Buddha. Then the teaching itself, this one verse which nicely captures. It says this: whatever dependence on the conditions, that is empty of intrinsic reality. So as we had a discussion yesterday, the meaning of emptiness, meaning of shunyata is not nothingness, not nothingness. Meaning of emptiness is dependent origination. In other words, saying all things and events come into being dependent on many different causes and conditions, and that's what saying. And then the next two lines: what method of good instruction is there, and what is there more marvelous than this discovery? So Tsongkhapa is saying, that you taught this teachings on dependent origination, in the meaning of the emptiness, absence of intrinsic reality, to overcome the sufferings, and that is the really amazing instruction and the amazing method that you have discovered and that you have taught. Then another verse here, it says this: marvelous teacher, marvelous refuge, marvelous philosopher supreme, marvelous protector. I pay full homage to that teacher who proclaimed universal relativity. So, the teacher, philosopher, protector, refuge, this because you taught this teaching, the teachings on origination, independent origination, and that's what Tsongkhapa sees the Buddha, the historical Buddha. Then the last part of the text, there's one or two nice, verses that I want to read in English. And there I saw that now this is what he mentioned, most of the things. Then he's concluding. Then, by kindness of the teacher, everything illuminated by the garland of white light of the eloquent explanation of the glorious moon, Chandrakirti, that refers to, whose expanding orb, O-R-B, orb of taintless wisdom, causes unobstructed in the keys of Scripture, dispelling darkness of the extreme heart, eclipsing the constellation of the false teachings, and then and there, my mind attained relief at least. So that is what he sees, the kindness of the teachings, the text written by the Chandrakirti. So he says when Tsongkhapa sees, understands, then there is a tremendous understands the teachings, of the Buddha through the Nagarjuna, through the Chandrakirti, through his teachers. Then there is a tremendous sense of relief, tremendous sense of joy. That's what he says. And then the last verse I will read in English, then I'll do the Tibetan. By the teacher's kindness, I was able to thus to meet the teaching of the unexcelled teacher. And I dedicate this virtue as a cause of all beings being looked after by the holy spiritual teachers. May the teachings of the benefactors till world's end be undisturbed by the winds of the wrong prejudices, and finding faith in the teacher by understanding the nature whereof the teaching. May it ever increase. And these last two lines are very important one in Tibetan. Tenbe ngangzu shine tembala ichenyeba. If you use the term faith, your sense of closeness towards your teacher is through understanding, realizing his or her teachings. So the understanding, realizing, his teachings, his or her teachings, then that you to have tremendous sense of gratitude, faith, sense of closeness, and that's what these last two lines. So that is just a few words in. So I will just read now the Tibetan, this text, and I have received oral transmission and also some commentaries on this text from many different great teachers, including His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So under that, I'll read this text in Tibetan. Namo Guru Manjo Gojaya Kashi Siji Sombaye Tendang Dumba Lana Mejawa Denjin Jawa Jun Sijin Dumba Dela Dunji Den Guba Chinyeba Te Zawa Mari Kashi Tongwe Te Doba Denjin Jawa Chungwe Song Tese Lodan Dembaye Denjin Jawa Chungwe Chuji Dembe Ninyi Do Chita Kundu Jum Teda Lana Gonjo Tene Jungwa Sumpa Le Ngozar Kyuba Chishin, Kangang Tianla Rale, but Tede Ranshin Kidong. Sumba Tele Yazembe Le Don Zune, Chishu Kangdo, Sungwe, Chibanum, Tenzin Jingwa Tenjava, Tini Kala Joba, Chawa Malu, Jebego, Tendi, Shendo Matong, Temba Shiche, Kuni, the Wadela Nesingi. Modijangla, Jimbuse Yama, Temba Yama, Jo, Yama, Macho Yama, Tenjin Tejung Lesson, Temba Tela, Tasha Se, Penze, Tuji, Tembala. Tembe Ningbo Tongpani, Nebe Junsen, Tameba, Tenjing Tawa Chungwes, Gawatane Maduba Tong de Document, Tezel, Document, Dalana, Tong Tongwa de Kujilo, Chida Kundo, Chumen, Kunen, Namshi, Tongbani. Denjung Tendo Tongwana, Rashin Jin, Tongbada, Chache, Teba, Minkin, Tele, Doba, Tongwana, Tongla, Chawa, Meron, Chada, Jela, Tong, Nyameyando, Longwa She, Teje, Kuji, Tembala, Denjung, Tongwa, Lagbanga, Tena Kundo, Mebada, Rashin Jin, Yubeme, Temenam, Medosh, Tena Made, Modumna, Tedube, Judan, Jela, Debage, Teje, Tene, Jungale, Mado, Choga, Rashin Jin, Tombale, Mado, Choga. Rashin Doba Mebeje, Chunam Rashin Gayuna, Yang Deba Merunchen, Drugun Deba Mebason, Teji Rashin Nam Telshe, Singata Yang Kebe, Soso Lesson, Dilla Sui, Company. Rashin Gaya Mebada, Dilla Tene, Dejung Namsha, Tamje Tabani, Mengedoa, Mejugo, Denejung, Junzenji, Tata Wala Medenshi, Lexon Dene, Gonjuji, Mawalana Mebeju. Mawala maybe you take on Tombada delay, then they never pension the king me pane Georgia, delay was like you. Delay meadow Junwaga, so they kill a turn on it about education, Mombet and those on why you can see Kudan Shedeba. Te Rangshin Mabeda, Monsieur Dula, Saju, Monsieur Dula, Saju, Kuyi Sungi, Jebe, Tenejung, Kalan, Toning, Aromeso, de la Co was a Rangshin Mela, Tivego, Lame, Tenjing, Dejong, Mini, Gene, Rangshin, Zena, Dago, de Pajonam, de Leto, Bejong, Tadan, de Juba. Kyuje Jebe Lamsan de Taiwan Gene, Tiwaja, Rangshin, Jeme, Demenda, Tende, Chomani, Chidarpuna, Shijela, Mingedo, Wanido, Rangshin Gene, the money number in Tenawa, Tegun Jomaji, Shindos on Kyuje, Tembala, Koake, and Chudendo, Lamania, Sombania, Tini, Gene, Chigla, Jena, Disheve, Tonda, Madon, Obola, Todo, Bada, Kudevia, Koga, Rendan, Zero, Kyuje, Mawa, Dameva, Tong, Junjun, Lamde, Niji, Sunshan, Samarjo, Banya, Tenshin, Lesson. Kyuje Jeso Lobala Koba Tamje Lindo, Nikun Zawa Dojero, Kyuje Tenle Chichobe, Yuring Awa Tenjijan, Chichi Kenan Babajan, Dagdo Tawa Tenchero, Emao, Kebe Tinye, Kala. Chashe Roy Tenzamia, Waji Samjing, whenever Telang Choge, the water Kiwi Tala Mobile. Then they in their Pumbola ring, they kept so Sonjoja, you and then Chazamaza, they went and Chida Kajoba, so gay you name Chola Jungse, Cheva, Tea Keba Sanyaji, Sangyam Ji, Tembenane, Tende to Vana Sharamana, Tende Shabani, Jigdentana, Jeva, Omboshe, Pujong Lagba Jigation, Kujin Kazawa. Jama Kuje Dambane Kange Nalam Songwa Teta Tamje Shikuja, Kudan Zamba Simic, Pago Tadan, Tao Kadu, Tombada, Jigu, Dini, Terjaba, Lude, Koto, Abete, Chido Jujan, Lala Kutanshan, Dubenia Lonjo, Tameka, Kange and their Tonga, Jajunia, Jendo. Nije Todan Chuyen, Cholama, Gabaja, Te, Yang, Shujan, Duga, Bola, Mai, Jeso, Tonga, Jijan. Telan Chuzons, Simbeje, Rabdoba, Veje, Yongo, Tembate, Sanyanje, Dene, Telasuniam, the Yela, Tebe, Sunyan, Shawasamas. Dongla does a shindo met, Taramedo, Chongway, Lusan, Mike, Vecchio, Baba, Zashindo, Nabakundo, Zembaje, so they don't have Dagane, Beba too much. Jazorane, Judene, Gombayanda, Yandozer, Dene, Tezeranshin, Devaye, Shuma, Dala, Jambana, Chije, Tesum Trabaye, Dage, in a Kundo, don't you yell, met with. Yue dang me ba ta pa ne chi chen de wa long de ba lu zhou shun lo kun de ze chen me ki wo de song la zi me ze le me sen ne ba pan den da we ji o ba ta se ba la me tin ye dong da ge yi jing ne so do ze ba kun le song ge ne ze ba chou ye ten ya ne tin yin je ka ba ye de le san je Dile Sanje Jetan Cho, Tende Jesor, Dile Sanje Jetan Cho, Dile Sanje Jetan Cho, Te China Kebaya, Dile Sanje Jetan, Tende Jesor Abdochun, Gawe Sung La Jangba Nime, Nanjo Jola, Zambe Ganong, Tangsong Chimbo Tela, Dambala Mebe, Dambada Jawa Dinda Lame, Timbe, Gawadi, and Doa Maleva, Shinya Tambe, Zembe, Penzeti, Damba Seveda, and Dolunga, Namba Me, Dembanga Zushin, Dambala, Ijin, Veda Dog. Tene Junga Tini, Sazeva to Velos, Jawa Tamjedo, Luda Soja, Tane, Zimbala, KJ Samuel Levaman, Tembacho de Kawa Pami, and Dening Bosin and Dubai, Tawan Shige, Pawa Junior, Namba Juvenin Zenda, Hasam Tabe, Sude, Zumbana, Sanda, Ombo Jigden, Jongwada, Lengden, Nabola, Sume, so Yawa, Meva, Tado, Jo, Je, Dovali, Nimbo, Shechawa, Dine, Mando Tove, Galon Losan Tabe, Peji, Jawa. Oh, yeah. So that is the oral transmission of the, the prayers to the Buddha because of teachings of dependent origination. So that is the end of my today's and also, the end of my official engagement with the Jamyang, leading classes, and started in 1994. So, and now it is officially closed. So, what we'll do now, of course, there's some kind of party. Are we looking forward? I'm not sure. So we have some kind of party, and some, before that we'll have, here, it is part of Tibetan tradition, when spiritual activities are taking place, and there is some sort of sharing, together, which is called Tsok offering. So we'll have that around 1:30, I think, and then we'll have some seat program. Go that. And now then, part of the conclusion. Here we have this, which I've been doing all the time. Reading the praises to 21 paras, and then 3 verses, long life prayers. And many of us have long time, year after year after year, have gathered, coming here or in the different places, and share the teachings of the Buddha, through the meditation, through the reading text, through discussion, and so on and so forth. And I'm sure there are positive results. We all try with the right intention, positive intention, and also try to put effort to learn these amazing teachings. So all those, whatever virtues, positive things are there, together we will dedicate. We'll dedicate first and foremost, the well-beings of the living beings, sentient beings. And that is really something important. And particularly the living beings, whether humans or non-humans, at this time going through difficult times. Whatever difficult cause, whatever the causes are, but going through very obvious, very gross difficulties, physically and mentally. To dedicate, the relief, free from all those difficulties, to find a sense of security, sense of friendship, that they can trust, they can rely on, they can share their challenges, their difficulties. So dedicate towards those all living beings in general, and particularly living beings going through very, very tough time at this time. And then those great beings on this planet, whether they have a long title, high position, or not, but the people who really, genuinely, sincerely serve others, whatever level, family level, parent, taking care, and on the top, those world religious leaders or the whoever, to really to serve the living beings with their skills, with their dedicated heart, and may they have long life, all their wishes, projects to be fulfilled. His Holiness the Dalai Lama, may he have very, very long life, and all his wishes in the wider the sort of sense for the well-beings of the living beings on this planet, to bring some kind of sense of peace, harmony that he tries very hard, all those be fulfilled. And particularly, one of his main sort of the projects is to let people or people have access to the teachings of the Buddha. Not really necessarily saying this is teachings of the Buddha, but those essence of the teachings of the Buddha, whether they are Buddhist or non-Buddhist, to have some kind of access and to receive some kind of benefit. That kind of project is one of his main projects. It's very much in his heart. And then, of course, since he was very small child up to now, he worked very hard of the and all those be. So all his wishes, all his projects, to the wider and the Tibetan community to be fulfilled, be successful. Then, of course, this center belongs to FPMT, and the FPMT, the main spiritual director, teacher is Lama Zopa Rinpoche. May he has long life, and all his projects through the centers be very successful and helpful. And then, the people who give us, our parents, our, the partners, children who give us this opportunity to study, to practice, to follow the teachings of the Buddha. May they have long life, all their wishes be fulfilled, and so forth. And then finally, all our Dhamma practices, teachings, studying, recitations, retreats, all those activities be true Dhamma teachings, Dhamma practice, to help ourselves and to help others. So we'll dedicate towards these things while we are reading the praises of 21 Taras and those 3 verses at the end. Om Je Tse Ma Pa Ma Do Ma La Cha Tse Lo Chan Tse Do Ma Nyu Ma Pa Ma Che Ne Ge Je Lo Ta Ta Ma Che Den Som Gun Che Je She Je Ke Sa Che Wa Le Ne Jo Ma Chan Tse Tong Ge Da Wa Gun Do Ka Wa Je Ne Tzik Be She Ma Ka Ma Tong Da Tso Pa Nam Je Rab Do Che We We Ra Pa Ma Chan Tse Seng Ngu Chu Ne Je Je Pe Me Cha Ne Nam Pa Ra Je Ma Chen Pa Tsun Du Ka Tu She Wa Se Pa Sam De Ju Nye Ma Chan Tse De Shin Che Pe Tsu Do Ta Ye Nam Pa Ra Jia Wa Je Ma Ma Lu Pa Ru Jin Pa To Pe Jia We Se Je Shin Du Den Ma Chan Tse Du Da Ra Hong Ye Ke Du Da Cho Da Nam Ka Kam Jik De Dong Bo Shab Ji Nen Lu Ba Me Ba Gu Ba Nu Chan Tse Jia Jin Me La Tsang Long La Na Tso Wang Ju Che Ma Chong Bo Ro La Ti Sa Nam Ni Jin Tso Ji Du Ne De Ma Chan Tse Te Che Cha Dang Pe Pa Ro Tu Go Rab Tu Chong E Gong Yen Jia Shab Ji Nen Me Ba Tu Ba Shin Du Ba Chan Tse Tu Re Jik Ba Chen Du Ji Ba O Nam Pa Ra Chong Chu Ji Shen Ne Tro Nye Den Tao tam je ma lu su, chan ze kun jo som zen cha, se me to ka nam para je, ma lu cho je ko lo jen, rang je we je so nam tu, chan ze rab do ka wa je, o je we je ten wa ben, she ba rab she to da ra, de da jik den wang du zen, chan ze sa she jong we co, tam je gu ba nu man, cho nye ye wa ye ge hong, pong ba tam je nam para cho, chan ze da we dong bo u, tian ba tam je shen do ba, re be chen ne e ba me, da para shen do we ro se, chan ze ge be tam ma me, ba re chen we u ne ne, ye ja yung kum ku ne ko, da ye bong ne nam para cho, chan ze sa shi ngo la cha, tel je ne jen shab je, tong ye je ze ye ge hong, ren ba dung bo nam ne ge, chan ze de ma ge ma shi, nyang en de shin chu ni, so la om da yang da den, dik ba chen bo jong ba ni, chan ze ku ne ko ra wa ka we, cha ye lu ne na pa ra ke, ye ge chu bu nga ne ku, rik ba hong le zhong ma ni, chan ze do re sham ni da be, hong ge na be sa bu ni, re ra men da ra tang be, chik de sum na ye wa ni, chan ze ga ye co ye nam, re da da jen cha na nam, da ra ni ma lu pa ne se, chan ze ga ye pa da me am che tem, gu ne go ja ga wa ji, ze da me ba se, chan ze ni ma da wa ji, che ni po la we ra se, ha ra ni ju du da ra, shin do cha pe rim ne se, chan ze te ni som nam ge be, she we tu da yang da dem, de da ro la nu jun son, chong ba tu re rab cho ni, za we nga je de ba de, chan ze wa ne ni shu za je. Dedications, the last page. Cha jo sen cho re bo che, ma je pa nam je jo je pa nyam pa me pa ne kon do pe to ze cha shen cham gen ja zen jo pe kun se to cho to do da so de gwen do sha ka re ra ve ko re shen pan da de ma le che re se wa den se sha be se. Oh yeah. Thank you.
Offer a vote of thanks for this excellent teachings. I'd like to say it in two ways. First, I'd like to say what an honour it has been to be taken through this text. You've had the persistence to keep going from the beginning to the end, knowing what well, to me, it's been enormous fun. And even as we didn't understand any huge transformation. Like, it's a real it's a wordless state of facts, really. The way you've looked after us, each and every one of us, several in our different ways, the way you've introduced us to beautiful things like the Uber Temple. I mean, lovely, lovely things. And all over the years, it's been really a huge pleasure. And we're very, very
Thank you. Thank you very much. I will say a little bit later, not now. All right. Thank you. I'll see you later.